a reasonable goal that somebody should be shooting for to say like this was a successful pre-open? And then how do they work back from that budgeting wise and activity wise?
Yeah. So let's go back to budget for a second.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's another big point. If you've already committed mentally, physically, and emotionally to conducting a pre-sale campaign, you got to commit financially too. So you got to have a budget lined up. You're asking me about what's a good pre-sale. I got to tell you, back in the early days of OTF, we thought, I mean, look, we had requirements, right? Because we knew better.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we opened a few. It didn't go as well as we thought. So we said, okay, we need to pre-sell. Then we thought 250 was great, you know, and we required franchisees to have 200 pre-sale done before they can open their doors. Like we wouldn't approve their opening until they had a minimum number of pre-sale. So then we thought 250 would be good. Then we thought 300 was good. Then fast forward a year or two, the 500 Club was born, where the majority of our pre-sales they were selling. Get this, we had a standard of 500 pre-sale memberships in our brand. And then we thought 7 wasn't real, then 8 wasn't real, and then 1,000 until we did it. So I guess the point is that it can be done if you commit to it and you have a good plan. Most franchisors are getting to that point. And if you're not, call me, because I have a lot of the bones already mapped out. I kind of have a good idea of what a great pre-sale plan looks like, and I've done it. And we can talk about it more. So what does a good pre-sale look like? Well, I think if you can open your doors day one without putting another dollar in, it's a good pre-sale. Like, are you break even day one? Which we were a lot of times. So if you ask me what a good benchmark is, I think for any business, can I break even day one? And then, so working backwards, right? So let's just say your break even for your business is whatever business it is, if it's a membership model, is let's just call it 300 memberships to keep it simple. Okay, I have news for everybody. I know you've heard a lot of these percentages. Like, okay, out of every 10 leads, 5 book, 50% show, half close. Do you get that? So let's do the math on that. 10 leads, which, by the way, you take your trusty calculator out. What's the average cost per lead out there, Dave? What are you seeing?
Let's call it $15. That's probably a fair number.
Yeah, so $15. So 10 leads, $150 of your marketing budget. Let's say half of those book an appointment to come learn about you and see who you are. So that's 5 booked appointments. Let's just be real. All 5 are not showing up, everybody. They're just not. So let's just keep it simple for the math, right, Dave? Let's say 2 of the 5 show up. And the other 3 we can rebook with some good CRM tools and some nurturing. We can get them in later, but let's just keep it simple. So 2 out of the 5 show up. And if you're an exceptional pre-sale, great offer, great closing team, great training, everything falls in place, you should be getting at least one of those 2. So very simple numbers, everybody. You are at a 10% conversion from lead to join. Okay. So for my mathematicians out there, all you, Dave, I know you're good at math, at least addition. I know you're good at addition. How many leads do you need at a 10% lead to conversion for 300 memberships?
3,000 leads.
There you go.
All right. And then if you boil the math out on that, then, right? So you're basically looking at $150 to acquire a member, right? So do the math on that. What is that? $45,000 if we want to open at 300 members.
Yeah, that's if you're relying on one form of lead generation. So yeah, it gets expensive very quickly. You asked a good question earlier. How long is a good pre-sale program or a good campaign? We were around the 12-week mark. So we were 12 weeks, 3 months was our entire campaign.